my professional opinion, think that you should wait to see him once he's at the mortuary. Because I don't think you want to see him like this.
After the SUV was used to transport Charlie Kirk to the hospital, the captain's seats were removed and parts of the floorboard were stripped.
So, Erika Kirk is scrambling again because the conversation surrounding Charlie's death just took another unexpected turn. This time, newly surfaced photos of his SUV have people convinced that exploding Mike theory might be more than just rumors. As you guys probably know, this theory has been floating around online for a while, with some claiming Charlie wasn't actually killed by a gunshot at all. Instead, they believe an explosive device was somehow planted inside or around his microphone, and that the blast was what actually took his life. For a long time, most people dismissed that theory because there wasn't much visual evidence to support it. But these new photos from the SUV where Charlie shows some things that look like they could support that theory. And apparently, it's legit enough that the people at TPUSA are going into damage control mode, because the one thing fans are demanding an answer to now is, why are these photos only coming out now? Because if these SUV photos are right, then it changes everything we know about Charlie's death and the people behind it. But before we get into what was discovered inside Charlie's SUV, we have to talk about the exploding microphone theory, because that's the entire reason these new photos are getting so much attention in the first place. See, if you've also spent months breaking down aerial footage of the exact location on the UVU campus where everything happened, then you already know some things don't add up. The distance alone raises questions. Then you add the fact that there was a crowd of people between Tyler's position and Charlie, and the shot would have been incredibly difficult to make under those conditions. And it's not like Tyler is this experienced sniper. His own grandmother revealed that he didn't really like hunting like the rest of his family, so he didn't have much experience with guns. So that's why the idea that what killed Charlie was the mic literally a few inches from his neck made more sense. It's also why these newly surfaced SUV photos have everyone looking at this case differently. Now, none of those theories really gained much traction until people started trying to reconstruct exactly what happened that day. And that's when someone discovered the actual brand of the microphone Charlie was wearing. According to experts, the specific make and model he was wearing appeared to be a Rode Wireless PRO microphone system. And apparently this system can be controlled remotely. So if the rumors of the microphone being rigged are true, then it means the explosive was actually triggered remotely by someone with the control. But get this, one of the most talked about features of the Rode Wireless PRO is that it can begin recording as soon as it's removed from its docking case. So the moment the transmitter is taken out and prepared for use, there's a chance audio is already being captured and stored internally, which means there's a very real possibility that the device picked up Charlie's real final words or the words being said by the people around him. And a lot of people believe we need to get that footage if it exists, because it might get us closer to figuring out what really happened to Charlie. Now, let's talk about that SUV and what was discovered inside. As people kept digging for anything that might explain what really happened that day, Candace Owens was one of the first public figures to break down what was really happening. One of the first things she pointed to was what appeared to be scattered glass fragments inside the SUV. And according to her, those fragments looked like what could have been the remains of Charlie's shattered microphone.
If you study the images of the Rode Wireless Go microphone, they have several white details on them. And if you can enhance the SUV images, I'm confident that you will be able to identify parts of the microphone body by the shards.
There was also what looked like a burnt white piece of clothing sitting inside the SUV. And as you guys probably know, Charlie was wearing a white shirt at the event that day. Almost immediately, people started comparing screenshots from the event with the newly surfaced photos, wondering whether the damaged fabric could somehow be connected to the clothes Charlie had been wearing. But the most important question people have now is, if these photos have existed all this time, why are people only seeing them months later? Because at this point, the SUV isn't just another piece of evidence. It could hold clues about Charlie's final moments that haven't been fully explained yet. The moment Candace entered the conversation, everything exploded. And it's not just because of who she is. It's because a lot of people felt she was finally saying out loud what they'd been quietly wondering for months. She got people going back through every image, every frame, and every theory to see if they had missed something. And then, one of Candace's viewers called in, saying they had taken a closer look at the SUV photos and rearranged some of the objects they could see inside. They believed those pieces appeared to line up with the USB section of the microphone Charlie was holding that day. And if you look closely, it's hard to deny that.
I'm going to show you, this is what they attached to like from our show, the picture. And they then obviously flipped it and showed that that was the USB.
So it didn't take long for comments like this to start flooding in. The cleanup and pave over after Charlie's assassination was probably the biggest clue to me that it was not just some random kid shooter. That was not normal. And that's how you know that the more people piece this whole thing together, the more questions they have. Now here's why Erika Kirk has suddenly become such a big part of this conversation. As you guys probably know, Erika publicly said that she had reviewed the case file and the evidence, and that she was completely convinced authorities had identified the right suspect in Tyler Robinson.
To have seen the autopsy report, To have seen the different evidence portions that have been collected, I trust our team.
However, that confidence is looking very shaky now, because almost every week, another theory, another photo, or another piece of evidence starts making the rounds that shatter the Tyler Robinson timeline. And with these new photos, those theories about Charlie's death that seemed too wild before are back on the table. In fact, TPUSA fans are wondering what Erika actually saw in that case file that made her so certain. Was there evidence the public has never been shown? Because fans are sick and tired of being lied to, and they're convinced that Erika is hiding the truth at best or protecting someone at worst. Because if Tyler Robinson didn't kill Charlie, then who did?